Hello everyone, welcome to Second's Diary. We're going to make this skirt today. I've used two different prints for my skirt, but you don't have to do this, and my fabric is Ankara fabric. So I've used Ankara fabric in this. Before you get into this tutorial, make sure you've watched my skirt pattern tutorial so you're able to do this. So let's get into it. You're going to need all your tools and your fabric. So I've got my skirt pattern, and I'm just going to draw a diagonal line from the hip line to the bottom of the skirt. When you watch my skirt pattern, you realize that it's just half of the front pattern. So you're going to grab another paper and fold it in half and just trace the skirt pattern on it so you can get a full front of the pattern. I hope that makes sense. I'm just placing my dot on the pattern because this is a new pattern, so I'm just placing my dot. But if you watch my skirt pattern, then you understand what I'm trying to do here. So make sure you watch that, so or if you know how to make a skirt pattern, or you already have a skirt pattern, just grab another paper, fold it in half, and then trace out your skirt pattern on it and cut it out, because you want the full pattern for the front. I hope that makes sense. So anyway, I'm attaching my pattern to the fabric, and I'm just going to leave 1 inch all round the pattern. So as you can see, I made a mark 1 inch all the way around, and that's how I'm going to. So you only need to cut one of those, and that's that. And then the bottom part, which is the right angle triangle pattern, we're going to call it right angle triangle because that's what it looks like. And I've also added 1 inch seam allowance around it. So I'm just going to use that fabric to cut out the other one. But make sure when you're cutting out the other one, you're cutting it right and the wrong sides facing each other, or right side facing each other, whichever way. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And obviously you don't need to add extra seam allowance to cut out the second one because we're using the fabric which already has the seam allowance on it. Right, so I'm just going to cut the pattern into two, and this is going to be the back pattern because I'll be adding zip to the skirt at the back, so that's why I've cut it into two. So just making sure I'm cutting it the right way. So I'm just adding 1 inch all the way around again, and that will be, some will be for the zip allowance and some for the seam allowance, and there you have it. I've also transferred the dots on the fabric. I'm just gonna show you quickly what that will look like. So there you go, when you put everything together, and this is what you're going to get. That's without the ruffles yet. So for the ruffle, you're going to need your fabric. So if you measure from the bottom of the skirt, I'll show you that in a minute, bottom of the skirt all the way to the top, like that, where your waist is, whatever measurement you get, you times it by 2.5, and then the length will be whatever that right angle triangle length is plus 2 inches. I hope that makes sense. So my fabric was about 70, I think it's about 72 inches or more long by 14 inches. Yes, more than 72 inches long. So I'm just going to cut out my fabric. I've done that, and I've hemmed the fabric all the way round. As you can see, the bottom, The only place I haven't hemmed is the top part because I'll be sewing that to the skirt anyway. I'm using my needle and thread to gather the fabric. You don't have to use needle and thread like I am. You can use your sewing machine to do a gathered stitch. However, sometimes the thread tends to break when I use the sewing machine. When you gather it and then you're trying to pull the thread, sometimes it breaks and I don't have energy for that. I'll rather just do this. It's easier for me to just adjust. And because you can make the thread thicker so it doesn't break easily compared to when compared to the thread from the sewing machine. Anyway, we've gathered our fabric and we're just going to attach it to the front part. That's the top front of the skirt, so just adjust it accordingly. Adjust it accordingly. So please make sure when you're attaching it, you're doing the right sides facing each other like this. So raw edges to the other raw edge like that. Okay, take your time, adjust it. This video took so long to make actually. It took me over 2 hours to make this video on 2 different days. So just showing you what that looks like. So what you're going to do now is sew it together first before we move on to the next one. If you're new to my channel, please do not forget to subscribe. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're going to be making this, please leave a comment. Let me know if you've enjoyed this video. So we're going to attach the bottom, which is our favorite right angle pattern. So we're just going to pull the gathered fabric back and then attach the bottom part. Trust me, this tutorial is very easy. To make this skirt is actually quite easy, but it can be time consuming, but it's something you can do even if you're a beginner. I don't believe, there's just some things that I believe even a beginner can do, to be honest. If you don't, the only reason you can't do something is because you haven't been shown yet, and you haven't practiced it. So if you practice it, sometimes when you're watching some of this sewing video and you're not doing it along with them, it can look a bit difficult. But trust me, once you're doing it whilst you're watching the video, sometimes that can help make it easier. So just going to sew across like that, and we've done that, and that look, it's taking shape already. I've done my dots, sewn my dots. So remember the triangles we made, hold them together and sew them together where the marks are. Done the dots. Now moving to the back. The back, we have to attach it first before we're able to add our ruffle. So I'm adding my zip to the back. I'm not sure if this is detailed enough. Adding the zip, I'm not sure if it's detailed enough, but if not, let me know in the comments below. I try to make it as simple as possible, easy to follow. Just pin it down. You can see what I'm doing here. Pin it down and sew across that first. You see Just pay attention. If not, let me know. I'll see if I can make another video on attaching a zipper. And just sew across. Make sure you're using your zipper foot so it's easier. And then the other side, place your fabric on top and just sew as well. Pin it or clip it and sew. If you're new to my channel, please do not forget to subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated. I'm trying to get to a 1,000 subscriber mark before the end of the year. Guys, we're in August, so please help your girl. Subscribe to my channel. Encourage me. So I'm just sewing the skirt together. Yes, please comment. I like to read your comments. That's why I always reply comments, because I get excited when I receive a comment. And that's our zipper attached and the back joined together. And the other gathered ruffle of gathered fabric, we're going to attach it to the back. So I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier, this rough gathered fabric is going to be times 2.5 or whatever measurement by the length of the right angle triangle. So obviously you're going to need one for the front and one for the back. I think I didn't mention that. You will need one for the front, one for the back. So let's say your measurement was 72 by 14 inches, then you're going to need one for the front and one for the back. So 72 inches for the front and 72 inches for the back. Right, we're doing the same thing we did at the front, or on the front. We're doing the same thing. I'm just going to sew across. Yeah, this video took forever. It took me 2 days to make this. Over 2 hours. I had to chop it all the way down to about 22 minutes. I was actually scared I would have to do like 2 parts, but in the end I was able to edit it and get in enough information, but at the same time not make it too long. Because to be honest, I myself don't like long videos. When I'm one of those impatient people. When I'm learning how to do something, I don't like when there's too much unnecessary information. Just get to the point kind of videos. That's what I like to watch. But if you want my videos to be more detailed, do let me know. But sometimes I try not to put too much so it doesn't confuse you. But if you would prefer a more detailed video, do let me know. But yeah, we're nearly there. Still attaching. As you might have noticed, I did not sew the gathered fabric first like I did the front one. That's because I was trying to make it as quick as possible. But I think it's the same thing really, because the fabric can tend to move about more compared to when you sew the gathered fabric first and then attach the bottom part. But it's up to you how you want to do it. Whatever you're comfortable with. Is either you sew the gathered fabric first to the skirt and then join the bottom part after, or you just sandwich everything together and sew it all at once. The choice is yours. Sorry, my voice sounds so, I don't know. It's because I'm tired and I really want to do this voiceover before I forget. And it's already Tuesday, so yeah, just sew it all up. I hope you're enjoying this video. I hope you're learning something. And I hope you're feeling inspired. So now we're just going to join the skirts together. Sorry, I'm so tired. My voice sounds so croaky. Is that a word? Croaky. I sound like a frog. So yeah, just join in. Make sure the gathered fabric's not in the way. Move it out of the way. You're trying to join the skirt together, not the gathered fabric. So you're joining the sides together. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. It's free, absolutely free, and it's the button under this video. You see a subscribe button. Just give it a little click. Give it a little click. 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That's the goal, and we must achieve it. Together we could do this. Oh, by the way, when you're sewing your skirt, when you're sewing the sides, make sure that you're using all your seam allowance so it can be the correct size by the time you finish sewing. But what I tend to do, because obviously I added 1 inch seam allowance on mine, but what I tend to do is do half an inch first, try it on and see, and then do the other half an inch again. But if you're a pro at this, then you know what time it is. Just use your old 1 inch seam allowance. But as you all know, I'm still learning. I'm still new to sewing. I started sewing like almost 3 years ago when I was pregnant with my daughter, who's going to be 3 in December. So probably over 3 years ago, I started sewing because I was bored. And yeah, I've enjoyed it ever since. So I think sewing is fun. And it's not as hard as it looks. Yeah, the pattern, getting the pattern and things like that is the difficult part. But once you're able to make your pattern or buy a pattern, I think is more straightforward. I actually don't like buying pattern and using them because I don't really understand the information. Following like instruction on paper is quite a difficult thing for me actually. I'm a visual learner and also a kinesthetic learner, so I learn from seeing other people do something, and I also learn by doing. So once I see something and I do it, oh my gosh, I'll be unstoppable. Yes, that's what I'm good at. So I'm just going to add our waistband. So your waistband should be your waist measurement plus 3 inches. So there you go. I've prepared my waistband, and I'm just going to attach it to the skirt. But before you do, just get your iron and iron one side like that. But I haven't done that because ain't nobody got time for that. To be honest, this video was taking so long, it needed to be over. Because when you have children, it's so there's no time. You have to try and rush everything, like squeeze everything in. So this is me trying to squeeze this video in. You can see I've changed my clothes like 3 times in this video. That's because it took forever to make. You make it halfway, you have to stop to attend to the children. By the time you know it, there's not enough time It's bedtime. It's crazy. But we did it. I did it in the end. We got there in the end, and that's all that matters. I actually nearly gave up making this video. I'm like, you know what, let me just stick to accessories. It's quicker, easier to explain, easier to show. But I said, no, I must show you and I must persevere. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, everyone. I really do hope you've learned something. I do hope that you're going to try to make your skirt. Do you actually like this skirt? Do you think it's beautiful? I think it would also look nice in a nice satin or silk fabric. I think so. But I'm just attaching the waistband to the skirt. So what I've done is attach the right side to the wrong side, the right side of the waistband to the wrong side of the skirt first, and then fold it over like so. Remember where I told you to iron? You do that. Don't be like me. It's easier actually when you iron the waistband. So iron it, put it inwards, and then pin it down. I'm just going to sew across, and we have our skirt. And we're just going to add our pop button, I think they're called. I didn't do that in the video, but yeah, just get a press button and just attach it to the waistband on the ends, and that's it. That's our tutorial done. I do hope you enjoy this, and please do not forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, or if you're new to my channel. Do check out my other videos. I have quite a few nice videos for you guys, so do check them out. And thank you so to everyone that's been supporting this channel so far. I love reading your comments. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for liking my videos. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I enjoy sewing, but I enjoy showing it to you guys more, and I do enjoy all the encouragement. And that's the finished look. I hope you like it. I love it. Still going to make more actually. I just need to find time. But take care guys, and watch out for more videos. It's a weekly thing, so let's do it.